Sports.
We are Buffalo. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Today from Comerica Park, the Tigers' final homestand of the regular season continues. The final game of this four-game series featuring the Seattle Mariners and your Detroit Tigers. And look at the magic number. Despite the loss last night, it's chopped down to 5 with 10 games to go. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us for the series finale. Tigers have a chance still to win this series, Rod, and that's something they need to do considering this is a Seattle team that they probably should be.
You know, this has been a very grueling homestand for the Tigers. First, those pesky Kansas City Royals rolled through here. Tigers were able to win that series. They're going to have to play really good baseball today if they're going to do the same against the Seattle Mariners. For the second time in the series, they'll be seeing a starting pitcher they know nothing about.
Well, Doug Fister, meanwhile, will go for the Tigers. And Fister, of course, is a former Seattle Mariner, and he's had good success against his former team.
Well, you always love when Doug Fister is on the bump because that means Iglesias has a chance to wow all of us with his acrobatic plays at that shortstop position. You know he's going to fill up that strike zone with a lot of ground balls. He also throws lots of double plays. He works efficiently. He throws nothing but strikes, and he's been a tremendous pitcher the second half of the season since putting on a Tigers uniform. Looking forward to Doug Fister going out there this afternoon and trying to take the series for his club against the Seattle Mariners.
And after a short timeout, we'll send you back to the Call Sam studios. Check in with Justin White. Coming up today, the Tigers need to keep Justin Smoke in the ballpark. Smoke homered in the ball game again last night, his 6th career here at Comerica. Tigers M's final game next. The Tigers getting set to take on the Seattle Mariners in the final game in this 4-game series. And Doug Fister today is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Doug Fister going up against his former club, the Seattle Mariners, looking for win number 13 this afternoon against 9 losses. The ERA sits at 3.67. Lots of strikeouts, very few base on balls given by Doug Fister this season.
And the first pitch of today's ball game is a strike on Dustin Ackley. He'll be followed by Saunders and then Seager, top 3 in the lineup for Seattle. Fister's 0-1 pitch. On the ground and a diving stop at third by Santiago. Nice play, 1 gone. Here's the rest of the lineup for Seattle, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You just saw Ackley, Saunders, and then Seager to follow. Morales is the DH. Ibanez and Smoke in the middle as well. Franklin, Zunino, and Trienfeld rounding out the lineup for Seattle. Miggy getting the day off in terms of playing defense today. He's DHing, so Santiago already chips in with a nice defensive play. Here's Michael Saunders batting in the 2 slot in this one. He's been really good in this series. He's had 3 extra base hits.
4 for 8.
And so they've elevated him rather to the 2 spot, facing Fister here with 1 out. Doug's 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, 1-1.
You always know if you're the Tigers infielders that you're in for a lot of ground balls when Doug Fister's on the mound. He is one of the best ground ball throwers in the baseball.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And it's a strike on the outer edge. 1-2 on Michael Saunders.
That's about Doug Fister's best fastball, 92 miles an hour. But we watched Iwakuma, who pitched for the Seattle Mariners last night. His top fastball was 92 as well, but he can command it just as Doug Fister can command his.
Bouncing ball, first base side. Prince has it. Fister covers. 2 batters into this game, 2 ground ball outs.
And while we have a moment, let's take a peek at the Tigers starting defensive alignment this afternoon. You have Tuiasa Sopo in left field. Austin Jackson, he's in center. T. Hunter, he's back in right. Santiago, Iglesias, Infante, and the Prince in the infield. And Victor Martinez is making his 3rd start at the catcher's position.
And he's acquitted himself quite well behind the plate this year for Detroit.
Tigers' final road trip of the year will take them through Miami. National League rules, so Victor Martinez getting revved up for the final 3 games of the year.
There's a strike called on Kyle Seager. Tigers pitching in this series has struck out 33 batters over the first 3 games. They've been racking them up. Of course, they've done that all season long. Seager checks a swing, strike called, 0-2. And Doug has come out filling up the strike zone in this one. Seager 0 for 11 in the series. Elevated but too high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a good 0-2 pitch. You want to make sure it's out of the strike zone. You don't want to give Seager anything that he can handle. He's had a rough trip. He's their best offensive performer, all-around performer, but the Tigers have pretty much handcuffed him.
Fastball slides away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seager at 267. He's knocked in 66 this year. Waiting on deck, should he get an opportunity, Kendrys Morales. Now the 2-2. Slice to left field, base hit. 2-out single for Kyle Seager, his first hit in this series. It'll bring up Morales with 2 outs. Kendrys back in the lineup today in the series, 1 for 8. Had a pinch hit double for his only hit in this series, batting .280. And he's knocked in 78 this year. And he lofts it back out of play, 0-1. Morales, the former Angel, played with the Angels for 6 seasons, the team that he was originally signed by, and was traded in the offseason for pitcher Jason Vargas. Seager 8 steals at first, measuring his lead, and is fouled back 0-2. #101 career home runs, most of those with the Angels. A .281 lifetime average. Been a solid big league player. Here's the 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It is definitely warmer today. 77 degrees our game time here at the ballpark, or our temperature, I should say, at game time. A little bit hazy, overcast. Runner goes, and it's fouled back. Seager was on the move, so he will retreat.
You don't usually see the opposing team attempt to steal bases when Doug Fister's on the mound. He is nearly impossible to run on, and especially a guy that doesn't have great speed, and Seager would fall into that category.
Now Doug ready with the 1-2. Pulled on the ground into right field, base hit. Seager will get to second and stop there, so a couple of 2-out singles for Seattle. That'll bring up Raul Ibanez.
Doug Fister able to get ahead of Kyle Seager, the number 3 hitter, 1 and 2. He also got ahead of Kendrys Morales, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he hung breaking balls to both guys, and both guys singled successfully.
So here is a dangerous hitter, Raul Ibanez, who is sitting on 299 career home runs. And he drives one to the gap in right center field. That ball will get down, base hit. Seager coming around third. He will score. And Seattle puts together a 2-out rally here in the first. 3 consecutive hits.
It's a nice job there by Raul Ibanez, knowing that Doug Fister, for the most part, throws you lots of two-seam fastballs at 90 miles an hour. And he went down to the bottom of the zone and got him one and was able to lift it into the outfield for a base hit and an RBI.
Three straight 2-out hits for Seattle, 1-0 score, and that'll bring up Justin Smoak. Four out of 11 in the series with a homer and 3 RBIs for Smoak. Homered in last night's contest, and he looks at a strike 0-1.
It was just a couple of years ago when Doug Fister wore the Seattle Mariners uniform, but he didn't play with a lot of these current Seattle Mariners. There's been quite a bit of turnover on their roster.
Bouncing ball to second, should end the inning as Infante gobbles it up, and that'll take care of Seattle. They get a run on 3 hits and strand 2. Torii Hunter back in the Tigers lineup here this afternoon. The lineup presented by Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jackson, then Torii, and then Cabrera in your top 3 spots. Fielder at first base, Martinez the catcher, Infante back at second, Tuiasosopo, Santiago, and Iglesias. For the Tigers, they are facing James Paxton.
Second time in the series, Tigers have seen a rookie starting pitcher they'd never seen before. They saw Brandon Maurer just a couple of days ago. They're really excited about James Paxton. Fastball will get up to 98 miles an hour. He's got an over-the-top curveball, 12-6, drops right off the table, and he had a really nice tune-up for this start. He faced the St. Louis Cardinals 5 days ago. Tim Hortons will sponsor the starting defensive alignment for the Seattle Mariners this afternoon. Raul Ibanez is back out in left field after taking last night off. Ackley in center, Saunders in right. Smoke, Franklin, Trienfeld, and Seager in the infield, and Zunino is their catcher once again.
So here is Jackson starting things off, and Paxton delivers a strike with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's what they say about Paxton. He will come right after you. He will pitch inside. He is not afraid to throw his fastball. And the Tigers, they know all that information.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. That tune-up you spoke of at St. Louis, 6 scoreless innings with 5 strikeouts.
In their ballpark, so that was a really good test for him.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Jackson has hit safely in his last 4.
Yeah, they say that Paxton needs to work on his changeup, which is usually the case with most guys when they first come to the big leagues that are big and strong and physical as he is, 6'4", 220. He's been able to overpower hitters every step of the way.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Jackson is out on strikes, 1 away.
He had 3 of the 4 pitches that he threw to Austin Jackson were good fastballs, but he finished them off with a breaking ball that was hanging up in the strike zone. That particular breaking ball, not his best. He's got a much better curveball than that.
Torii Hunter batting .294. Couple of hits, couple of RBIs in the series for Detroit. Fouls it off. Seattle got a run in the top of the first on 3 straight hits. Torii this year 51 multi-hit games. He's knocked in 77. And a ball low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Tigers' number 2 man.
His leadership skills have been immeasurable for the 2013 Tigers. On the field, off the field.
High towering fly ball to left field. Hit well. Ibanez back. Track. Ball. And we're tied. Torii Hunter has gone deep again. His 17th. That's not too bad either.
That will fall under the on the field category.
1-1 ball game.
And Torii Hunter gets himself a pitch at the top of the strike zone. It's a fastball. It's firm. It's above the belt buckle. And right-handed hitters, they do much better job of climbing that ladder to get on top of fastballs, which Torii Hunter was able to do there. Torii Hunter really used his hands effectively through the strike zone on that swing.
So the Tigers, who were shut out last night, get on the board early here today with the Hunter homer. And there's a ball outside to Miguel Cabrera. 10 of his home runs have come in the second half. And a total of 17 now for Torii. Here's the 1-0.
Take one more look at Hunter and how the hands get up above the ball and he comes right down through it. I mean, that's how you hit a pitch that's up around the letters. And that is a thing of beauty for Torii Hunter, Tigers all-star right fielder.
Cabrera takes inside and low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Look like Miguel has already gone to his 2-strike emergency stance against Paxton. He didn't even stride on that last pitch. Just simply picked that left heel off the ground and put it back down.
Ball high, 3-1.
It's one of the things that separates Miggy from most hitters is the fact that he can change his approach from from pitch to pitch, and at bat to at bat.
Major league leaders, 347 for Cabrera. Trout is the second highest in the American League. There's a walk to Cabrera. We'll bring up Prince Fielder, who has seen this quite a bit in his 2 years with Detroit, and at bat after a Cabrera walk. He's done pretty well, 364. Paxton struck out Jackson to start this game. Then he gave up the home run to Hunter, and now he's walked Cabrera. We'll get a visit from the rookie catcher Mike Zunino.
Well, Mike Zunino just went out there to tell the rookie pitcher no need to really slide step. You don't have to hurry in getting the ball to me. Miguel Cabrera's not going to steal second base. Take your time. Make sure you gather yourself, which will give you the best opportunity of throwing something in the strike zone.
As he does there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fielder's at 280. He has hit 24 home runs. That doubled in the series, 3 for 12 overall. 1-2.
Good bender there by James Paxton.
Paxton only 24 years old. 2 big league starts coming in. Both of them were really good efforts. We talked about the St. Louis start. He also pitched well and beat Tampa. Two balls, 2 strikes. Out of Richmond, British Columbia. 4th round pick of Seattle a couple of years ago in 2010. Bouncing ball, foul, first base side. Fielder's 102 RBIs, good for 5th in the American League.
I saw where Chris Davis caught Miguel Cabrera in RBIs.
Chris Davis is making a bid to get into that MVP conversation.
He's there, buddy.
Yeah, he deserves every ounce of it. He's had a fabulous year.
About a month ago, Mickey was running away with that MVP award for 2013 after capturing that same title last year. But Trout in Los Angeles and Davis now in Baltimore, making it very close.
Ground ball, foul again down the first base line. 3-2 the count on Prince. Waiting on deck, Victor Martinez. Fly ball toward left field, slicing away to foul ground. It's going to be a long run, and nobody can quite get there. It's back out of play. Ibanez came darting in from his left field position. So 20 pitches already now for James Paxton. Fielder has seen 8 of those. Here's the 3-2 again, and another foul. Nine pitch at bat now for Prince. 1-1 game. Tigers have tied it up on the home run by Torrey Hunter. Tigers trying to shave their magic number. It was 5 coming in. Ground ball towards second base. Nice play there by Franklin. Fires to second, 1, no relay. Franklin knew, despite the fact that he had to range left, he had a chance to get Cabrera.
We've seen Franklin make a couple nice plays in the series. Played one last night, able to go far into the hole to his right, but unable to complete that particular play. Victor Martinez was credited with an infield single, but he makes that play there.
2 out now as the Tigers enjoy a 6-game lead over Cleveland in the Central. And again, the magic number down to 5. There's a ball high to Martinez. 3-game series coming up against Chicago, and then it's on the road for the final 6. 298 now for Victor. 3 hits in the series plus an RBI. Driven in the air to left field. Ibanez going back. Track. Wall looks up. It's off the wall. Here comes fielder rounding third. They'll send him home, and he will score. It's a double and an RBI for Victor Martinez.
Looked like Raul Ibanez got there. Looked like he was going to make a play. I thought the ball was going out of the ballpark when it left Victor's bat, but it looked like it hit right off the end of his glove, and he was not able to make that play. And the Tigers score their 2nd run of the inning. And James Paxton, excuse me, he looks like he's going to have to put a wrinkle in it. The Tigers can hit that fastball. This fastball that Victor hit 93 miles an hour.
Off the bat, I was with you. I thought that ball was gone. And then Ibanez got to the wall, just could not complete the play. A good answer for the Tigers here as they score 2. Hunter with a homer to start things off, and fired up about that RBI double.
Here's where young pitchers have a difficult time trying to maneuver through the Tigers batting order. Guys that have good fastballs at 95. But don't necessarily command their breaking balls. If you continue to fall behind the Tigers, starting them off with off-speed pitches, then you're forced into throwing that 4-seam fastball, which is very hittable.
Omar batting .315, couple of RBIs, has a double in the series. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Tigers' second baseman.
Omar battling a little bit of a sore quadricep, therefore did not start in last night's game. Had the evening off, as did Torrey Hunter.
Popped up. First base side for Justin Smoke, and fouled round. That'll end the inning, but the Tigers answer. They get 2 runs. We'll go to the second. 2-1 Detroit. Well, the Tigers have taken a 2-1 lead as Torrey Hunter.
He'll chop it up with anybody, won't he?
Sure will, including the umpires. But in a good mood right now after the home run. Tigers up 2-1. Doug Fister back to work.
Second base umpire Tom Hallinan all animated in his conversation there.
Franklin leads it off. Left-handed batting second baseman Franklin, then Zadino and Trienfeld. 216 this year for Nick Franklin, but it's the power numbers as he fouls it back out of play 0-2. Fister continues to throw strikes. 17 of the 21 that he's thrown in this game have hit the strike zone. And 6 of 7 first pitch strikes. That's always a good thing. Here's the 0-2. We've mentioned in this series that Seattle has been offensively challenged in terms of average. 239 is a ball club. They do hit some home runs, though. Third in the majors in homers, ironically. Check swing low. Did he go? Negative. One and two on Nick Franklin. Fister surrendered 3 straight 2-out hits in that first inning. That's how the M's got their run. Here's the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Franklin knew it. He is caught looking.
Good two-seam fastball right here by Doug Fister. He starts that ball right at Franklin, and because of the action on the pitch, it catches a lot of the plate. Rick Porcello's had that real good two-seamer going lately himself to left-handed batters. Take a look at Fister's splits here. 260 this year against lefties. Righties hitting at Matt 305, but yet Eric Wedge, first 7 batters today that Doug Fister saw, all left-handers.
Mike Zunino's had a tough series. The rookie catcher is 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts.
Talking to Jeff Jones earlier in the year, it was right before Fister made a start in Washington, D.C.
Little chopper slowly towards short. Iglesias. 2 gone.
And I was asking him, were you concerned with the lofty batting average numbers against Fister against right-handers? He said, no, we're not really. We're only about 5-6 starts in now, but talk to me in September, and if they're still hitting over 300 against him, I might have an issue with that, but those numbers aren't really going down for Doug against righties.
And really, when you look at his numbers overall, here's a guy that has an ERA of 3.5, which is really good, yet his opponent's batting average overall is 281.
He gets that ground ball. He's already thrown 25 double play balls this year, which paces the majors. So he has made a living at getting 2 outs with 1 pitch.
Trienfeld, the batter. 1 for 10 in the series for the Seattle shortstop. The 0-1 pitch. Bounce foul, first base side.
Here is our high-speed stat is brought to you by Charter Internet, and focus on the last 2 columns there. The grounded into double plays by the opponent, 25. That paces the majors. And also the amount of ground ball outs he gets. 68% of Doug Fister's outs are recorded on the ground.
Wave and a miss. He went fishing, and Martinez will throw down to first to complete the strikeout. Kind of close, but it's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Jeep, rediscover the freedom of the open road at the Jeep Celebration event. And by Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop. A nice day here at the ballpark. It is warm, warmer than it has been the last couple of days. The Tigers have a 2-1 lead over Seattle. And for Detroit here in the bottom of the second, it'll be Tuiasosopo to lead it off. Then Santiago and Iglesias. 1 ball and no strikes on Matt. 0 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. .263 batting average. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. And Jim giving Tuiasosopo back-to-back starts. 1 against Iwakuma last night, and now today against the lefty. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
That assignment last night against Iwakuma was a tough one. But in reality, it was a tough assignment for all the Tigers hitters. That's how good Iwakuma was last night.
Foul back. Iwakuma, I think largely because he pitches in Seattle, is not really talked much about. There are his numbers last night. And he's not one of those guys that has that blazing fastball that will overpower you, but boy, oh boy, he just gets it done. And he got him, strike 3. Tui is caught looking. Second strikeout for Paxton. I think you've got to at least add Iwakuma to the list of Cy Young candidates, and his numbers are deserving. But here are some of the guys we think that are obviously in line for that award.
Darvish, Sale, Sanchez, and Max Scherzer. And just like Max Scherzer about a month ago or so, he had that award, and he was running away with the Cy Young, but his last few starts, he's kind of pitched himself back into the conversation, and some of those other guys have pitched well.
If you had to choose right now, who would you go with?
I'd probably still go Max Scherzer. Overall body of work this year.
There's a ball down low, 1-1. Yeah, I'm with you on that. My selection, and I don't get both, would be Max Scherzer.
Had Anibal Sanchez not missed about 4 starts, and he had pitched in those 4 starts like he's pitched lately, and it would be very, very close to differentiate the two.
1-2 on Santiago.
I have a feeling this is one of those years where most of those war cats are going to come out in droves with all those numbers.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bouncing in 2-2. What gives you that indication?
I just have a feeling it's going to be one of those kind of years.
Waiting on deck is Mr. Iglesias. 2-1 Detroit. We're in the bottom of the second. Just got a piece of it, and Ramon stays alive. It's been a good second half for Santiago. He's perked up, really struggled in the first half, but saw some more playing time when the second baseman Infante went down, and so 290 in the second half.
Ramon Santiago is a real nice piece to the puzzle, and has been that since Jim Leland's taken over. He can play short, he can play second, he can play third. Defensively, his hands are outstanding. And the bat has perked up the second half of the year. He's gotten more consistent playing time.
Well, he's one of those guys that I think because he's done it for so long now, he has adjusted to the role that he has, and that is to be ready to play multiple positions. And you can put him just about anywhere in the infield. Here's the 3-2. Bouncing ball left side, cut off at third by Seager. Santiago is out, 2 gone. That last pitch was the 40th of the afternoon now for Paxton. His ratio looks like that, 25-15.
His fastball will go anywhere from 93 to 95, and every now and then he'll get all the way up to 98. Straight over the top, throws downhill because he stands 6'4".
Here's Iglesias. Strike 1.
That fastball right there at 95 at the knees. If you're a hitter, it literally looks like that ball is going to bounce because of the arm angle that he throws it from.
Grew up in a suburb of Vancouver, James Paxton. He did play college ball in the States, though. There's the ball low, 2-1. He went to Kentucky and pitched there from 07 to 09. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 2-2 on Iglesias. Jackson waiting on deck. Tigers trying to get something started here with 2 outs in the second. They lead 2-1. Drilled to center field. Ackley coming on, making another terrific catch out there in center. He's had a few of those in this series. Tigers go 1-2-3 as Doug Fister comes out for the third. You're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Top 3 now at the ballpark. The Tigers on top of Seattle 2-1. They have taken the lead on a home run by Torrey Hunter. And also an RBI double by Victor Martinez. And it's Dustin Ackley to start things off here in the visitors part of the third. It'll be Ackley, Saunders, and then Seager. Fister missing high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Doug had a 1-2-3 second. Couple of strikeouts in that frame. There's a strike called on Ackley.
Doug Fister is throwing a lot of strikes, very efficient with his first pitch strikes as well. He is 8 of 10 so far this afternoon, and that allows him to expand the strike zone and get swings and misses.
Got him, strike 3. Ackley caught looking. Third strikeout of the game for Doug. 1 gone.
Cut fastball here. He starts off the plate. Natural cutting action allows it to catch the outside corner. Really nice frame job there by Victor Martinez, who is catching only his 3rd game since August of 2011.
Here is Michael Saunders. He'll drive one to left field. They can't get him out in this series. His 5th hit. Time for a game break now as we check in with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Well, I guess if you just take care of your business, everything else will fall in place.
That's right.
There's a ball outside to Kyle Seager. Although Jim Leland admitted, like anybody else, if they tell you you're not scoreboard watching, they're lying. He has been. Trying to keep an eye on what the Indians are doing, seeing how close his team can come to clinching. Toss back and the runner in.
This is always one of the most exciting weeks and next week in the regular season, when everybody starts to clinch and everybody starts to punch their ticket into October. Fans get super excited.
2-0 the count on Seager. That finish we had last year was unbelievable in the American League. The added wild card certainly has added a twist. There's a strike. 2-1. Certainly want to go in as a division winner. Otherwise, you're pretty much playing a play-in game. The two wild card winners will square off to see who advances. The loser goes home. Line and caught by Iglesias. Leaping play short.
Iglesias had him play perfectly. All he had to do was elevate.
Second leaping play he's made in this series. Made a leaping catch up the middle in game one. Here's Kendrys Morales. Swing and a miss.
Much better breaking ball there by Doug Fister. Released that one out in front, and because he released it out in front and got on top of it, he was able to bury it at the bottom of the strike zone.
Really good ratio. 31 against 9 in the 40 pitches that he's thrown.
First 3 games of the series, the Seattle Mariners really worked over the Tigers starter pitchers as far as their pitch count is concerned. Porcello had a lot of strikeouts, as did Sanchez, and they had a very high pitch count. And then you had Verlander last night threw quite a few pitches.
There's a ground ball to second, resulting in the final out of the inning. On our way to the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, get a free small order of curly fries. The Tigers already have one today. That belongs to the guy that will bat second in this inning, Torrey Hunter. It's going to be Jackson, Hunter, and Cabrera. Tigers facing the left-hander James Paxton, who got him 1-2-3 back in the second. Austin is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Fouled straight back 0-1. Paxton surrendering a homer and an RBI double. He also walked a man in the first inning and then righted the ship in the second. 0-2 now on Jackson. Paxton, in his days at Kentucky, was a strikeout artist. In fact, he was third in the NCAA, averaging about 13 strikeouts per 9. Just missed there, 1-2. Missed inside that time, 2-2.
Paxton is about to throw his 50th pitch of the afternoon, and about 80% of those have been fastballs. And so he is simply coming out today trying to overpower a really good offensive club.
In the air to right. Saunders under it. One gone. Time now for today's Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question of the game as Torrey Hunter steps in. Here it is. Other than Torrey, who is the best offseason addition this year, do you think? Is it A, Chris Johnson, B, James Loney, C, Zach Greinke, or D, James Shields? Text ACE, then a space, then A, B, C, or D to 37338. There's a chopper hit toward third. It's going to roll foul. Here are some numbers on the candidates.
James Shields, very valuable to the Kansas City Royals with the turnaround and the surge they've made this year trying to capture a postseason spot for the first time in a long time. Of course, you can't argue with Zach Greinke. He's 15 wins out west, but they also have Clayton Kershaw.
Would it be cheating to add Terry Francona's name to that list? Doesn't play, but he's had a big impact in Cleveland.
Well, you got to add John Farrell then if you add Terry Francona.
Okay, we'll go Farrell too. Oh, and 1 the count. That was fouled off. 0-2 now on Torrey.
Torrey homered his first time up. He got a fastball at 93 and then was up around the Old English D, and he was able to get on top of it and hit it out for a solo shot to get his squad on the board first.
Checked it. Did he go? Doesn't matter. He's turning around, walking away, and he was called out by Ron Copeland.
Check that. That home run did not put the Tigers on the board first. They were trailing after the Seattle Mariners scored 1 run in the top half of the first inning. It tied the score.
Here is Cabrera now with 2 outs, and all of a sudden 6 in a row retired by the left-hander Paxton. Miggy cuts and misses 0-1.
He's going to be in their rotation next year. They think he has the ability to eventually be a front of the rotation guy, but he'll probably slot in at 4th or 5th next year when the Mariners assemble in spring training.
Ripped right into left field and right by Kyle Seager.
He threw a fastball right by Miguel Cabrera on the first pitch, and he came back and hung him a slider at 83 miles an hour. Actually, it was a curveball that Miguel got, and we told you Miggy's first time up, not striding today, just picking that left heel up and making sure he stays balanced. Catching that curveball out in front and hitting a rocket to left field.
Which under normal circumstances would have been a double, but he had to hold up with a base hit. There's the ball driven to the gap. That's going to go to the wall. Cabrera is going to have to stop at third base, and it's going to be a double for Prince. 2-out, 2-base hit.
Something that Prince Fielder has done very well on this current homestand, and because of that, he is trying and making a strong push to hit 300 for the second time in his major league career. Sunday against Kansas City, couple base hits the other way. Monday, when Seattle rolled into town, continued to pick on the left fielder. Did it in last night's game, and then his first time up tonight. Also doubles in that right center field gap. So Prince Fielder really keeping that left shoulder locked and loaded here in this homestand.
That ball got all the way to the wall, but did not score. Cabrera. Victor not going to bat here with first base open. Got the same treatment in the ball game last night. Second and third in the first inning. They walked him intentionally, and he got the strikeout of Tuiasosopo. This time they're going to have to deal with Omar Infante, who's waiting on deck, and he will bat with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Victor gets the intentional pass. Seventh intentional walk of the season for Martinez. The team leader, as you would expect, is Cabrera with 19.
Omar Infante has been somewhat of an unsung hero this year, batting down in the latter third of that batting order for most of the season. .320 overall batting average with runners in scoring position. Highest batting average for any second baseman in the American League. Omar Infante has those fast hands, and he has tremendous hand-eye coordination. Very seldom swings and misses.
For 1 with a pop-up today. 2-0.
Paxton inviting danger here going up against Infante in a 2-0 count.
Now the crowd's starting to make some noise here. Tigers trying to build on their 2-1 lead. 2-out rally, single by Cabrera, double by Fielder. Here's the 2-0. Low. 3 balls, no strikes.
I wouldn't be shocked if Jim Leland allowed Omar Infante to take a swing here.
Why not? Bust this game open early here.
You know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's going to be a fastball. You've seen 3 fastballs, so you know the exact velocity and the range it's going to be in. Let it go.
He takes ball 4. That'll force in a run. Bases loaded, walk for Infante. 3-1 Detroit. Here comes Carl Willis. Fans, every game counts. We all know that. Deposits are now being taken for postseason luxury suite packages. All packages include a credit to be used toward a 2014 suite package. Call 313-471-2222 for more information. So the intentional walk tighten the noose a little bit, and a walk to Infante forces in a run on 4 straight pitches by the lefty Paxton.
It's always difficult for a starting pitcher when you ask them to walk the previous hitter intentionally, as you did Victor Martinez. Sometimes it's hard for them to regather that arm slot. 4 straight balls to Omar.
And there's ball 1 to Tuiasosopo.
For some of you thinking at home that Tuiasosopo should be taking here automatically, not so fast. I mean, you're going to get a fastball eventually, and it's going to be in that strike zone with runners in scoring position. Here's where you can feast on the starting pitcher.
Ground ball to second. Hit it hard, but right at Franklin. And the Tigers will settle for a 1 run. They add to their lead, though, as we go to the 4th inning, 3-1. A run to their lead, 2-run spread as we go to the fourth, and you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the new Mighty Wings. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Top four, Doug Fister back to the hill, and he delivers a strike to Raul Ibanez. RBI single in this game for Ibanez. He's back in the first, the only Seattle run so far. Big swing there, 0-2.
Jack Terenza got some calls on Raul Ibanez at the trade deadline, but most of the people that shared those conversations said that the Seattle Mariners wanted way too much in return for Ibanez, so he is still with the Seattle Mariners, even though they're not in a pennant chase.
He tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Down he goes. And Fister now has 4 strikeouts, 1 out.
And a fastball top of the zone by design that Ibanez initially wanted to get through and then thought better of it, but it was too late.
There's Justin Smoke.
Fister's ratio strikes to balls is simply off the chain. He's thrown 45 pitches and he's only missed the strike zone with 9 of those. First pitch strikes galore.
As you like to say, is that good?
That's real good.
They strike call.
Oh, he's dealing now.
12 of 15 first pitch strikes.
Starting to bounce that breaking ball to the back foot of the left-handed batter.
Doug working in a nice rhythm here. The 0-2 pitch. Tapped foul behind home plate. Each ball club with 4 hits in this game. Tigers got 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third. And the 0-2. Checked it. 1-2 the count. Smoke 0 for 1 with a ground out. Back in 2010 was traded from Texas to these Seattle Mariners, part of the Cliff Lee deal.
He likes hitting in this ballpark. 6 career home runs for Justin Smoke right here at Comerica Park. Hit number 6 last night against Justin Verlander.
Not this time, as Fister ties him up and strikes him out. 5 strikeouts.
He's got such great action on everything that he throws. That is not a slider, but it's got slider action. That is a cut fastball out of the hand of Doug Fister, but because of the way that he grips it, he gets as much break on that pitch as most guys right-handers that throw sliders.
Ball 1-2, Nick Franklin.
He's in one of those Anibal Sanchez rhythms right now where everything is a strike, whether it be the changeup, the curveball, or the fastball.
Franklin struck out back in the second. And an RBI single in the ballgame early last night. And he backs out of there inside 2-0. That's it for a strike. 2-1 now on Franklin. Fister surrendered 3 straight singles in the first. Seager, Morales, and Ibanez. That got the Mariners a run, but they've done nothing since. Here's the 2-1. And that bends in for a strike. 2-2. Got him, strike 3. Franklin caught looking, didn't like the call, and has a chat with Ron Culpa, but it won't change things. Fister strikes out the side here in the fourth. He got Ibanez. He got Smoke. Franklin caught looking. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's new Smokehouse Brisket Sandwich today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Ren in the backdrop. Downtown Detroit as well on a hazy day here in the Motor Cities. We welcome you back inside the ballpark. The Tigers and Seattle wrapping up a 4-game series. It's the Tigers' last homestand of the year. Continues to wind down. 3 more against Chicago coming up. Santiago, Iglesias, and then Jackson facing the lefty Paxton. Ramon looks at a strike as he offers a bunt. Paxton had a bases loaded walk in the 3rd, forcing in a run. And that was after a 1-2-3 second. Pulled foul outside of the bag. 0-2 on Santiago. Drilled to left field, sinking and caught by Ibanez. One gone. Well, tomorrow the Tigers play the Chicago White Sox at 7:08. The first 10,000 fans receive a 2014 Detroit Tigers magnet schedule. Call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com. Here's Iglesias. Flied out to center field back in the 2nd. Ball 1. Talking about the Tigers finishing out in Miami a week from Sunday, and then the ALDS doesn't start until the next Friday, so there will be 4 off days between the end of the season and the start of the postseason.
We might as well just belly up in South Beach.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going there with this, but that's not a bad idea now that I think about it.
Yeah, we might as well hang out for a couple more days.
But it does present a challenge for those teams, because obviously you want to play your guys down the stretch to make sure they're fresh. I mean, they're going to be sitting down for 3-4 days. And this is where maybe it's a little bit unfair when you consider that you've got an American League team going into a National League ballpark, and a guy like Martinez almost has to catch now to keep him fresh. Otherwise, he would sit down an additional 3 days in that series, and that would be too long.
Last couple of times Tigers have gone to the World Series, they've had lengthy layoffs, and it hasn't worked out very well for them. So I'm sure if they do have a lengthy layoff this year, whether it be in between the DS or the ALCS or the World Series if they're that fortunate. And they'll try to figure out something to help them stay sharp.
That pitch was at the lower part of the strike zone, and Iglesias grounds it foul. Yeah, and that's something that Jim Leyland said today, and that's why he's a little bit, well, he feels it's unfair that an American League team has to finish in a National League ballpark. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball to short. Trienfeld has it, and Iglesias is out, 2 away.
The one thing that I would be concerned with if I was the manager or the pitching coach, I'd be concerned with my pitchers having to rev up their bats once again for the final 3 days of the year, where they really haven't had to do so since the ball club was in New York about 6 weeks ago. So that's the one thing that would scare me. Guys bunting, guys running the bases, and they really haven't done it that much.
It's a really good point, and it's something that Leland also brought up before the game, saying, you know, you can get a guy pull a muscle in the batting cage, getting ready, taking swings in a game, obviously running the bases. As Jackson stands in. Bouncing ball to third. Seager has it flattened out on him, but he stays with it. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 here in the fourth. Between these two teams, Tigers trying to win this series and chop their magic number down. And, coming into this game, the Tigers owning a 6-game lead in the Central Division. Magic number at 5. As Mike Zunino stands in. Carlos Trienfeld to follow, and then Dustin Ackley. Pop-up straight back foul out of play on 1.
And Doug Fister has kind of forced these Seattle Mariners at swinging at the first pitch, and because he has been so proficient at throwing first pitch strikes so far today.
The 0-1 pitch. Here's another example. 0-2.
Got that pinpoint command working today. Therefore, that ball might have been a couple of inches off the plate, but he got the call from Ron Copa.
Ooh. That one was close. 1-2. Popped up. Shallow right field. Long run here for Infante. And fielder, and Prince can't get there. He was the closest. Did Prince just grab a nacho?
I didn't see it.
I think he took somebody's nacho.
He's chewing on something. That's beautiful.
You know, a little mid-game snack.
That is perfect.
Let's see.
He sure did took one of that man's nachos.
He didn't dip it in the cheese, though.
It might have already had some cheese on it. That's perfect.
That dude is so unsuspecting.
It was once I saw Prince in Milwaukee where he needed some sunglasses and he was asking the trainer for the glasses, and the trainer was taking so long. He got a pair of glasses from the fan that was in the first row in Milwaukee and wore them the entire inning.
Did he really?
He sure did.
Well, he's got his own on now.
That's great television there.
Here's a 2-2 and a bouncing ball to third. That's a fair ball way behind the bag. Thrown out in time and it gets away from Prince, but that'll be an infield hit for Zunino. Leadoff man on here in the 5th inning. And that'll be the first time in this game that Seattle has gotten a leadoff man on.
Some guys get a little dirt on the uniforms during the course of the game. Prince Fielder got a little cheese on his uniform.
Maybe a jalapeno or two.
Something that fan will never ever forget.
He really didn't realize it happened until Prince was about 3 or 4 steps away and he was munching on it. Tree it fell as a strikeout. He's 0 for 1. That ball came over his head. 1-0.
Trienfeld's got a little bit of speed, but if Doug Fister throws his ground ball here, he can most definitely get the double play to get himself closer to getting out of this inning. Outstanding double play combination up the middle with Iglesias and Infante.
Ground ball, but it's going to find a hole into shallow right field. On his way to third is Zunino. He'll get in there standing up, and now Seattle with something brewing here in the 5th inning.
He threw the right pitch there to Trienfeld. It was a breaking ball, and he really had him out on that front foot. But he didn't get it down, and therefore he was able to hit it right off the end of the bat and cued it right past Prince Fielder, who made a nice effort for it. Zunino didn't need any help from his third baseman to decide whether he could get over to third base or not. He already knew how far Torrey Hunter was playing back in right field. Good base running instinct shown there by Zunino.
Dustin Ackley looks at a ball inside. 1-0. Ground out strikeout for Ackley. Only 1 for 12 in this series. Ball high, 2-0 the count. Fister was cruising along, then an infield single started the frame, and now another base hit. And Doug has not been behind too many hitters in this game. Driven to right field. That ball is hit well. Torrey will look up, and that ball is going to go. It is out of here.
Only the 4th home run this year by Dustin Ackley.
2 singles and a homer. And Seattle has taken the lead. Boy, that happened quickly.
It's a changeup that he just does not locate where he wants to locate it, and it was right over the heart of the plate, and Dustin Ackley drilled it into the right field seats about 3 rows deep.
Homer number 4 for Ackley, and that'll be RBIs 28, 29, and 30. Michael Saunders, the batter. Pulled on the ground, foul. 0-2 the count. Saunders 1 for 2, a single and a ground out. He has 5 hits in the series. Tried to thread the outside corner, couldn't do it. 1-2. Seattle now with 7 hits. Pop that one straight up. Martinez giving way, and now it's going to drop in. Is it fair? Foul? It's foul. Wow. Between Martinez and Santiago.
Well, Victor He really didn't make a huge effort to get after it. I don't think he saw it, or he knew he was not going to be able to make that play. And if you're Santiago, you have to recognize that it's a much easier play for you than it is for Victor. Victor had already given up on it.
Fortunately, that ball didn't kick into fair territory. So there is new life for Saunders. And he fouls that one off the end of the bat. Fister now has thrown a total of 70. Three straight hits here in the fifth. And a 3-run homer by Ackley has given Seattle the lead. Again, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. 7 strikeouts now for Fister in this game.
And the majority of these strikeouts have either come on the swing back fastball or the breaking ball, which would be curve variety.
Tigers now have 40 strikeouts as a staff in this series. Here's Kyle Seager. 1 out here in the fifth. 4-3. Seattle in the lead. Strike called on Seager.
940 is the record for a starting staff set by the Cleveland Indians in 1968. And the Tigers, before it's all said and done, they'll be closing in on 940, and they have a really good shot at going beyond that number.
Driven to center field. That's a base hit. Seager has his second hit of the game,
which kind of gives you an idea of how good their staff has been all year. Something else the Tigers have been very fortunate in this year, and that's in the health department of their starting staff. They've only used 6 starters this year. Alvarez would be the 6th, and that's the fewest in the major leagues.
Yeah, I would think that's the key, keeping your horses out there, and they've responded. You've got Scherzer second in the league. Verlander, he's closing in on 200 strikeouts. Here's a ground ball back up the middle. Nice backhanded play by Infante. Safe at second base. Out at first base.
Nice job there by Iglesias. He knew that he wasn't on the bag after the acrobatic glove flip by Omar Infante, but it's really the only play that Omar had. So Iglesias had the court awareness to just continue to finish the play because they still had an out to get at first base, which was Morales, who doesn't run very well.
It'll be a 4-6-3 putout. His foot clearly off the bag, but they just continue that play and they get Morales.
Very important to get the one out there.
Here's Ibanez. He rolls it foul. Got a couple of guys in this series, and Ibanez, who's 41, and Torrey Hunter, who's 38. And these guys are still playing at a very high level.
Both guys basically started their careers at the same time in the Midwest League. Torrey was playing for the Fort Wayne Wizards, and Ibanez was an Appleton Fox.
Goodland Field in Appleton, Wisconsin.
I played there in 1978. It was a really nice atmosphere. We won 101 minor league games.
Whoa.
101 and 41. We won the championship. We had a good team.
There's a swing and a miss. 1-2.
Britt Burns, Lamar Dotson was on that team. Harry Chappis, just to name a few of the guys. David Dombrowski was running the minor leagues at that time in the Chicago White Sox organization. He had just started his professional career.
Broadcasted for a couple of years in the Midwest League, and once in Appleton they had a guess the attendance contest, and the winner guessed correctly. The attendance was 12 that night.
That wasn't hard to do.
It wasn't hard to do. It was April. It was snowing.
Oh, it was cold there at the beginning of the year.
Swing and a miss, and Ibanez is out of there, ending the inning. Big home run, though, by Ackley. Puts Seattle on top. 1,319 strikeouts this season, a Tigers team record. Forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, the Tigers find themselves down by a run now after a 3-run homer by Dustin Ackley. Torrey leads it off, then Cabrera, then Fielder, as Paxton goes back to work. And a ball outside to Hunter. Torrey with a home run in the first to strike out in the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Paxton continues to fill up the strike zone with a lot of fastballs. 77% of the 80 total pitches thrown have been fastballs, anywhere from 92 to 95, thrown by the big, tall left-hander.
Two and 1 the count. Paxton has gone to 6 3-ball counts already in this game. Strike call, 2-2.
That is a good fastball right there. On the black inside at 94 miles an hour. If you're going to throw a fastball in a 2-1 count, you better locate it where he located this last one, to T. Hunter.
Bouncing ball to second. Routine play there for Franklin. 1 out of the 5th. Here is Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel last time up singled sharply in the left field on an 0-1 breaking ball and came around to score.
Whistled foul, back out of play, 0-1.
Everything that we heard about this young kid is true. They said he wasn't afraid, even though the Tigers have a very good offense. He would still challenge them with a lot of 4-seam fastballs, and he has done just that.
One and 1 the count. He was ranked as the Mariners' 5th best prospect coming into play this season, the 2013 campaign. Driven down the right field line. Ball is hit well. It is slicing. Foul. Nagy took a shot at that right field foul pole.
That might be the telltale sign that Miguel Cabrera is starting to feel a little bit better and starting to get healthier day by day, is the fact that when he is starting to hit that ball to right field, he's driving it to right field just like he was earlier this year. Lets that ball get deep in the strike zone. He creates a really nice bat angle, and he's got really good power in that direction.
Bouncing ball to third, deep behind the bag. Tough play, Seager. Throw is on the mark, and there are 2 gone.
Miguel would have had quite a few more hits if he could just run at full strength right now, but he can't run at full strength. Therefore, some of the hits that he was getting earlier in the year, and he doesn't get a lot of infield hits anyway, he just can't beat them out.
It is, I think, also costing him in the extra base hit category, too. Seager made a nice play on that ball. He's been peppered in this series. He's played a really good third base. Fielder cuts and misses 0-1. Fielder's choice and a double for Prince. He's also scored a run. Line drive, a fair ball down the left field line. Kicks off the wall. Prince on his way to second. And he's diving in with a double.
Well, he's got a little cheese on the uniform because he stole the fans' nacho last half inning. Now he's got a little dirt on his uniform, whistling one down in that left field corner, and then head first sliding into second. That was a pretty smooth slide by Prince. He doesn't usually take very smooth slides, but that one was pretty smooth.
Usually it's like a lawn dart coming into second base.
Yeah, it's usually coming in high.
But that one was extremely smooth. Probably didn't need to slide, but it looked good.
Nice landing there.
And again, they're going to walk Victor Martinez.
Well, Eric Wedge, he managed Victor Martinez when Victor Martinez came to the big leagues in Cleveland, and he watched Eric. I mean, Eric watched Victor Martinez emerge as one of the top offensive catchers in the American League. He was winning All-Star, going to All-Star games when he played in Cleveland.
Third time he's been walked intentionally in this series. That'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs. Well, you see that Martinez started out very slowly this year in April and May, started to perk up a little bit in June, and then July is when he really took off.
And the guy that he walked Victor Martinez to get to is no slouch. Omar Infante hitting .320 with runners in scoring position.
Omar walked with the bases loaded after the intentional walk last half inning, or his last at bat in the third inning. .314 batting average for Omar. 4-3 Seattle. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Driven in the air to center. Ackley has room. The intentional walk works. No runs, a double. The base on balls. 2 men left. What do you say we head to the 6th? A question this afternoon: who were the pitchers of record in Comerica Park's first game in 2000 right here in this ballpark? And it was against Seattle. Who were the pitchers of record in that game? That's your question today. And here come the Mariners now as we go to the 6th inning. It'll be Justin Smoak, Nick Franklin, Mike Zunino facing the right-hander Doug Fister, who surrendered the homer to Ackley in the 5th inning. Ball high and away to Justin Smoak. Smoak is 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up. Doug, in fact, struck out the side back in the 4th. Here's a strike called, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball high, 2-1 the count on the switch hitting Justin Smoak. Homered in last night's ball game. In fact, he went the opposite way against Justin Verlander in the 6th inning.
6th time that Justin Smoak has homered right here in Comerica Park in his brief big league career.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Smoak. Swing and a miss. Fister tied him up there. Another strikeout for Doug.
Outstanding curveball released out in front. Outstanding depth. And it bounces. Victor Martinez able to pick it. Smoak swung right over the top of it. Our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Doug Fister so far today, 92 with that moving two-seam fastball. Also 73 with that slow curveball you just witnessed. The strikeout of Smoak.
Ripped down the right field line. Fair ball. It goes to the corner. Bangs off the wall. Franklin on his way to second, and he will pull in with a double.
He's a little bitty guy, but he's got some pop in that bat, and he doesn't miss his fastballs. That's how he did most of his damage when he first came to the big leagues. Did not miss his fastballs. This is a cutter at 87. And right in his happy zone, he smokes it down that right field corner. He has a difficult time with breaking balls. Does Franklin.
It's 31 extra base hits now for Franklin, which is most of American League rookies.
Well, he's the reason why Dustin Ackley now playing in the outfield. He's taken that second base job from Dustin Ackley.
Zunino takes ball 1 outside. Meanwhile, the Tigers continue to pile up the strikeouts. 9 of them now for Doug Fister. Swing and a miss by Zunino. 1 ball, 1 strike. And an infield single scored a run on the Ackley homer back in the 5th. That's when Seattle took the lead 4-3. They have 9 hits on the board in this game. Zunino was a highly decorated college player. He went to Florida. Good program there. And he won the Golden Spikes Award. He's college's best player, and also won the Johnny Bench Award as the best catcher in college baseball.
That's one thing that the Seattle Mariners do a lot of, and it appears that a lot of the guys are on their current major league roster. They draft a lot of college kids that have really good college careers. Not so many high school kids.
Not that time. Down he goes. That's an even 10 strikeouts now for Doug.
Tigers starting pitchers have been on one in this series against the Seattle Mariners. Rick Porcello had 10 strikeouts a few nights ago. Anibal Sanchez had double-digit strikeouts, and now Doug Fister double digits, and he's really a guy that doesn't get a lot of strikeouts.
Well, it's the second time this year he's gone 10 or more. His high this season was 12 against Pittsburgh. Trienfeld sends a slow roller toward third base. Santiago on the bare hand. Nice play.
Really nice play.
No runs. A double is stranded. Santiago. Nice barehanded play to end the inning. All right, Mick, let's see if the Tigers now can get the offense going here as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tuiasosopo will not bat. It'll be Andy Dirks to pinch hit for him. As we've got a new pitcher now, Tom Wilhelmsen will come in a Wellside Windows pitching change.
And earlier this year, he was their closer, but he fell on hard times. He blew 5 saves, has 24 total. Got sent down to the minor leagues, but he's back now in the big leagues pitching in middle relief. He's got a good arm. Power fastball, mid-90s.
Andy looks at a strike.
There was a play earlier this year where Wilhelmsen was going over to first base. It was the final out of the game, and they would have won the game. It was against the Cleveland Indians. He dropped the ball. The Indians tied the score, and they went on to win the game. And they say that he has been struggling really with his confidence since that point.
All it takes is that one play. Well, apparently it has for him. He's gotten Dirks on the ground out. One gone here in the 6th. Well, as you often say, confidence is such a huge part of success at this level.
No question about that.
And if it's shaken, well, tough things can happen. Here's Santiago. Ground out, line out, and a ground ball foul. No balls and 1 strike. 4 runs, 9 hits, Seattle. 3 runs, 5 hits, Detroit. Santiago came in at .295 over his last 36 games. Backed him out of there. Wilhelmsen, originally part of the Milwaukee system, took over their closer duties last year, saved 29 ball games. Way outside.
And Jack Zarincic, the general manager of the Seattle Mariners, has Milwaukee Brewers ties. And he used to be their scouting director. He drafted Prince Fielder. He drafted Ryan Braun. He drafted Ricky Weeks.
Ooh, wave and a miss. 2-2. Iglesias will be next. Here's the 2-2. Checked it. Did he go? Negative. Says Phil Cuzzy.
If you're Wilhelmsen, you may as well come back with that same pitch. If you throw a 2-2, you can't be afraid to throw a 3-2. And it looks like Santiago having a difficult time picking up that breaking ball.
Fastball to 97 that he was tardy on and hit down the left field line.
He'll get all the way up to 98. He's got a power curveball. He'll throw that about 26% of the time. It's got a big 2-plane break to it. And he has a changeup as well.
And he lost in ball 4. Wilhelmsen issues a 1-out walk. Tigers have the tying run on now. Here's that trivia question again, courtesy of AT&T. We asked you who were the pitchers of record in Comerica Park's first game back in 2000 against the Seattle Mariners. And the answer is winning pitcher Brian Mueller. Loss went to Freddie Garcia that day, and Todd Jones picked up the save.
Wasn't it snowing all day here that day?
Yeah, there was snow on the field before the game. It was frigid at the ballpark. Oh, look out. Iglesias is hit by the pitch.
Oh, my goodness.
95 miles an hour.
That's not good.
No, it doesn't look good. Here comes Kevin Rand. And Iglesias is in absolute pain right now on the ground.
That is so unfortunate.
Oh. Sounds even worse than it looks. They got him right in the fingers and the knuckles.
Got him square. I was hoping maybe it got a little bit of the bat, but that last look right there slowed down. Looked like he got all of that bottom hand.
It's going to be it.
They'll go take an x-ray of it right now. They have the capability of doing that here at the ballpark, so I'm sure we'll get word here momentarily.
Don Kelly will come on a pinch run, and there is an x-ray machine located right beside the Tiger locker room in the clubhouse area. So
all major league stadiums have the ability to do that. No longer do guys have to get in the car and go to the hospital to get an x-ray.
So let's see if the Tigers can take advantage. They've lost their shortstop in this game now. 2 on with 1 out. Austin Jackson is 0 for 3. Ball outside, 1-0. Now Carl Willis coming out. Wilhelmsen got the first man he faced, the pinch hitter Dirks, but it's been downhill since. Well, you mentioned it was cold here on opening day back in 2000. Here's a flashback. April 11th at this ballpark. Ryan Muller started, got the win. Bobby Higginson had a big 3-bagger in that game. You can tell how cold it is, can't you?
We did a game earlier this year in Minnesota when we opened up the season. And obviously, we're not on the field, but I can't even imagine playing baseball in weather that was much colder than it was that day in Minnesota.
And the ski masks on. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Whistled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jackson.
Carl Willis, their pitching coach, has had to make quite a few visits already to the mound here to talk to his pitchers, whether it be Paxton, who started, or Wilhelmsen, who's now in 6th.
Ground ball to third. Seager on the backhand, tags the bag 1, and out at first base, a double play. Boy, as he played some third in this series. Kyle Seager, terrific play. That one goes 5-3, inning over.
Last time Ackley was up, he got himself a changeup that was out over the plate, and he hit it into the first row of the right field seats for a 3-run shot to put his club in the lead in this game. It's the 4th home run Ackley's hit this year.
And right now that is our difference. As Fister goes back to the mound, we go to the 7th inning. 4-3 is our score. Seattle in the lead. Ackley, Saunders, Seager facing Fister. 9 hits today for Seattle, 5 for the Tigers. And that one missed the outside corner, 2-0. That's it for a strike. There have been 0 putouts by the Tigers outfielders in this game. The only thing hit to the outfield have been the base hits of the home run. There's a drive to left field. Dirk's coming over and he'll make the catch. There you go. There's your first.
Here's our bell tire pitch by pitch at how Fister goes after Dustin Ackley after the home run last time up. First two fastballs are all away from him, and everything was away from him. He was not going to let Ackley pull the baseball. Ackley tried to stay inside that ball, lining out to left.
Ball 1 to Michael Saunders. Single in 3 at bats for Saunders, which makes it 5 for 11 in the series. And he breaks his bat and rolls one towards second. Gobbled up there by Infante. 2 up, 2 down. Another changes for the Tigers in this game. Don Kelly stays in the contest to play third base, and that will move Infante, or make it Santiago rather, to shortstop, with Iglesias out of the game. Here's Kyle Seager. Been busy today with the bat. A couple of singles, runs scored, his first 2 hits of the series. One ball, no strikes on Seager. He's a guy that came in 2 for his previous 40 at bats. Now the 1-0.
Good changeup there by Doug Fister. He hasn't thrown a lot of changeups today. He's thrown quite a few two-seam fastballs, quite a few cutters, and that curveball. Not many changeups. That last one was beauty.
Smiley, Pekonen warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Now Fister's 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Kendrys Morales waiting on deck. Pulled to second base. Sharply hit. Infante plays it off to his left in a 1-2-3 inning. Time now for the 7th inning stretch, presented by Health Plus.
under that light rain, beaming in that night game. Can't stop now, keep moving, no break paths. Came here to prove a point, live my life on the field, make history in between the base path.
Well, the Tigers had some early success in this game, jumping out to a 3-1 lead, but a 3-run homer by Ackley in the 5th inning is the difference right now as Wilhelmsen goes back out to the hill. And Torrey Hunter leads it off and shoots one in the air to right center field. It'll be a long run for Ackley. Won't get there, neither will the right fielder Saunders. It'll be a double to lead things off for Torrey Hunter. Tying run in scoring position.
And Torrey Hunter jumps on the first fastball, but that he sees from Wilhelmsen, and ball stayed up in the air a long time. Saunders with good speed in right field, not able to get there. Ackley, who has made a couple of nice catches in the series, he wasn't able to get there either.
Here is Cabrera now, the 34th double of the year for Torrey.
In these situations, Mickey likes to pick on the first pitch, especially with runners in scoring position. And his numbers are really good when he does so.
Swing and a miss. Fastball up. .404 this season with men in scoring position. A chance to tie this one up or perhaps put the Tigers in the lead. Wilhelmsen got a big double play ball back in the 6th. The Tigers had 2 men on. Missed it low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Cabrera today a walk, a single, a run scored. He's 1 for 2. Right now with 44 home runs, which makes it back-to-back 40-plus homer seasons. Checked it. Don't think he went. He did not. Chris Buccione at first base.
Miguel also going to win his 3rd consecutive batting title this year. And being right-handed, the last time that a right-handed batter did it 3 years in a row, you got to go all the way back to the 1920s when Rogers Hornsby did it 6 times.
3-2.
You usually equate batting titles to left-handed batters, not guys that are 6'5", 250.
Fly ball right field. Hit deep. Saunders to the warning track. Runner will tag. Torrey coming to 3rd. He's in there standing up.
Productive at bat for Miguel Cabrera. And to get Torrey Hunter over to 3rd base. And now Eric Wedge, he might walk Prince Fielder as hot as Prince Fielder has been, or he might go to his bullpen and bring a left-hander in.
And they've had Furbush warming up. That's going to be the route apparently. It'll be a wall side windows pitching change. Seattle on top for the time being. Wilhelmsen is out of the game. We'll be back.
M's got on the board first. Raul Ibanez singled in 1 run in that particular inning, but the Tigers, it didn't take them very long to counter. Torrey Hunter, he homered to left field. Victor Martinez followed in the same inning with a double. He also drove in a run. And then you have Dustin Ackley, their leadoff hitter, their center fielder. He got a changeup in the 4th inning. He put his squad in the lead to stay momentarily, and that's where we sit right now. M's 4, Tigers 3.
Jose Iglesias was hit by a pitch earlier in the ball game, had to leave the game. They have X-rayed it, and the news is good. It's just a contusion, which is a deep bruise. The X-rays were negative, so he's day to day. And boy, the Tigers dodged a bullet there. Charlie Furbush comes on now for Seattle.
Charlie Furbush, former Tiger, was traded to the Seattle Mariners in the Doug Fister deal back in 2011, and has probably done his best work this year against left-handers. His numbers against left-handers are off the charts.
Infield coming in a couple of steps. Prince looks at a ball outside. 1-0. Fielder has been on base 3 times in this game. Against Furbush is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Foul tip into the glove. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just goes to show you how many different ways you can do things as a manager. Eric Wedge, if he chose to do so, because Prince has been so hot in this homestand, he could have walked him and then went for the double play off the bat of Victor Martinez. Victor's grounded into 21 double plays this year, but he elects to go with the left-hander to try to get Prince Fielder out.
Here's the 1-1. Soft line drive, center field, going to drive, base hit. That'll tie the game.
And Prince foiled that strategy.
3rd hit of the game for Fielder.
Just about every single hit Prince Fielder has had in the series against Kansas City. And now Seattle has been the opposite way. Conscious effort of using left field effectively by Prince.
103 RBIs now for Prince. That ties the game at 4. Now Martinez still only 1 out. 299 now for Victor. On base 3 times in this game. Walked intentionally twice. Also has an RBI double. Ball low. Well, 3 for 3 against Furbush. Drill down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit and more. Fielder is on his way to 3rd. Let's see what they do with him. They're going to send him home. Here comes Prince to the plate. The throw, and he is saved and on play. He missed the tag. Five for Detroit. Throw beat him, but they say he missed the tag.
Victor Martinez now 4 for 4 against Charlie Furbush. He climbs the ladder and clobbers that ball down in the left field corner. Prince Fielder running from first base was fortunate this time. A couple of nights ago, Prince Fielder wasn't able to score on a similar type play that Omar Infante hit in that line. But I want you to take a look at the third base coach, Tommy Brookins. How far he got down that line. He was able to make a determination of whether he wanted to send Prince Fielder home or not. He knew it was going to be close. It was close, but a great slide by Prince Fielder, beating it.
Oh, he was out. Did he get him in the face?
Looked like he might have touched him. I like that safe call, though.
There's a base hit to right. Victor will be held at 3rd. So the Tigers have taken the lead. Still only 1 out. Fisker now has the advantage again. Let's see if he actually beat it out with the slide. It looked like he was tagged. There.
If he touched him in the face, which it appears that he did, then Prince was out. But the home plate umpire, Ron Culpa, couldn't see it. He's on the other side of home plate. You can see where he is. He never saw the tag.
That's a good point.
He never saw it.
Bang, right there. He should be out. Tigers got a break there. So Hernan Perez will come on a pinch run now for Martinez. Still only one out in this inning. 5-4, 2 runs in for Detroit. Swing and a miss by Dirks. And he came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th, 0 for 1. Tigers now have 9 hits. Seattle with 9 hits.
The Tigers have different options on their bench if they wanted to use a right-handed bat, but Jim wants to stay with Andy Dirks here.
Three straight hits in this inning for Detroit. Martinez delivering an RBI double, his 2nd RBI double to the game, which, by the way, pushed Victor over 300 to 301 now. 0-2. Flared back out of play. Action in the bullpen for Seattle. It's Medina warming up. We saw him earlier in this series. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Dirks is down on strikes, 2 away. We'll bring up Santiago. Tigers have gone from 1 down to 1 up. And it all was started with a double by Torrey Hunter to start the inning. Drew Smiley is tuning up in the Detroit bullpen. They got Morales, Ibanez, and Smoke due up. Ball 1 high. It's the 5th batter now that Furbush has faced in this inning. He's given up 3 hits and has a strikeout. Strike call. Back him out of there. 2 balls, 1 strike on Santiago. Paxton started, gave way to Wilhelmsen, who pitched in the 6th, but gave up a big hit here to start the 7th.
And Furbush has all 4 pitches. Fastball tops out at 93. Also a curveball, slider, and an occasional changeup to the right-handed batters.
Yank foul. Two and 2 on Ramon Santiago. And he got him strike 3 to end the inning. However, the Tigers regain the lead. Big inning for Detroit. They scored twice. Dugout fired up. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Tigers have regained the lead now as we go to the 8th inning, 5-4. The Tigers offense 10 runs in innings 6 and beyond in this series. Fielder Martinez 5 for 6. They've combined for a couple of doubles, 3 RBIs. And we told you that Jose Iglesias left the game, was hit by a pitch on the hand. He is day-to-day with just a contusion. X-rays were negative. So Fister going back to the mound here as we start things off in the 8th. Kendrys Morales will lead it off for Seattle. Big swing there for Morales.
22 home runs this year for Morales. 16 of the 22 have come batting left-handed. As far as the batting average is concerned, the numbers are pretty close, but much more power batting this way.
Pulls that one on the ground to second. One step to the outfield grass. Infante throws him out, 1 away. So Fister, who finished 7 innings here with 100 pitches, answers the bell here in the 8th. There's still action in the Detroit bullpen. Jose Ferris now joining Drew Smiley. Here is Raul Ibanez. Line drive and caught by Infante, who either had it knuckled at him or didn't see it. 2 gone. Well, the pennant race is on. Place a deposit on 2014 Detroit Tigers season tickets and receive 2013 postseason priority. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com.
It would really be cool if the Tigers were able to clinch here at Comerica Park before they head on that road trip to Minnesota on Sunday. Allow the wonderful fans here to experience that celebration.
They deserve it. Last 2 times it's been in Oakland and Kansas City. It would be nice to have the home fans experience it. And if the Tigers win today, the magic number would continue to dwindle. It would be down to 4. Cleveland playing Houston.
Tigers will also go over the 3 million fan marker once again this year, which is a tribute to the fantastic product that they have on the field.
2 balls, no strikes on Justin Smoke. Three 3-0 now. It's the first time in this game that Fister's gone to a 3-ball count, and we're in the 8th inning.
And I think this is by design. Smoke's got a lot of home runs in this ballpark. Fister does not want to allow Smoke to beat him.
Franklin is waiting on deck. Smoke homered in last night's game off Verlander.
He wouldn't mind if you walked him.
And he did just that. So it's a 2-out base on balls. Tying run is on. Seven straight had been retired. Here comes the skipper.
Drew Smyly will be coming into this game.
So it's a pitching change. We'll step aside with the Tigers up 5-4.
Game is brought to you by Head and Shoulders, and Doug Fister going up against his former club for the third time. He came in with a 1-0 record and a 1.29 ERA with 8 strikeouts in those 2 starts. He had 10 strikeouts today. Third game in the series where Tiger starting pitcher racked up 10 strikeouts against the Mariners hitters.
So Fister is out of there, and Drew Smyly will take over now for Detroit. He'll face Nick Franklin, who will turn around and bat right-handed. Pinch runner at first base is Almonte. Smoke is out of the game. Franklin had a double in his last at bat. He is 1 for 3. He's also struck out twice in this game. Both sides have 9 hits in this contest. 5-4 Detroit. .108 the pitch total for Doug Fister. Handing things over now to Drew Smyly. 1 ball, no strikes on Nick Franklin. Veras in the Detroit bullpen. Strike called. 1-1. Can't say enough about the job that Smyly has done this year. Started the season as the long reliever for the Tigers, gravitated toward the back end of the bullpen, now getting key outs late in the year. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Runner bluffing and a wave and a miss. 2-2. Monte stole some bases in the minor leagues this year. And there he goes. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Smiley does the job. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th, the difference is Victor Martinez's RBI double. Look who's coming to town. It's going to be the White Sox, and it's Rienzo and Scherzer tomorrow in Game 1 in the series.
And Rienzo, 2-2 record with an ERA just a shade over 5. He is from Brazil. And Matt Scherzer, the last time he went up against the White Sox, they roughed him up pretty good. He did not have a good outing against them. I believe Max only lasted 4 innings in that game against the White Sox in Chicago.
So here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 5-4 Detroit. Don Kelly, a .236 average. He came on when Iglesias was taken out of the game after he was hit by a pitch.
Charlie Furbush will throw that slider about 31% of the time, especially to left-handers.
One ball, 2 strikes. And a ball high. 2-2 on Don Kelly. It certainly wouldn't hurt to get another run or 2 here. Jackson waiting on deck. Fouled back out of play. Here's the 2-2, and it's bouncing in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers closer is heating up. Joaquin Benoit. 9th inning will be his. It's just a matter of how big the lead will be. And the 3-2. Line to center field. Almonte is there. Hit it hard, but straight at him, 1 out. We'll bring up Jackson. And it looks like Furbush is done with Jackson due up. Eric Wedge coming out. So Furbush will face a total of 6 batters before he departs. But they did their damage against him. And as Medina comes trotting in, we'll tell you that Fox Sports 1 is available on all TV providers. Go to foxsports1.com. Find out what channel Fox Sports 1 is on in your area. Well, what's going on around Major League Baseball? Denard Span, 29-game hitting streak.
Washington Nationals finishing up strong after a very disappointing season.
Meanwhile, Billy Hamilton, first player since 1920 to have 4 steals in his first career start.
He had several steals before he even got his first start. Big steals for Billy Hamilton.
How do you steal 155 bases?
He could fly. I mean, he could flat out fly. Game changer with his legs.
And the Mariners announced today their former owner has died at age 85. Hiroshi Yamauchi. So here is the new pitcher now, the right-hander. That would be Yoervis Medina.
Medina's got a big arm, as does most teams' bullpen pieces these days. 95 is top fastball. He's got some real nice tight break to his slider, which he throws quite often, and he also features a changeup. Only 4% of the time, though, will he throw that change piece.
By the way, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. You will hear from Jim Leland and the players, plus we'll break down the game, show you all of the highlights. Mickey York and Simo hanging out back at the studio. Tigers Live immediately after the game right here from the Call Sam Studios on Fox Sports Detroit.
Got to get a win. Mickey York in that studio, boy. He feels a whole lot better after Tigers win, boy. The shows just kind of flow when they win.
Now, wait a minute here.
What?
So what you're saying is that Mick has a tendency to get a little bit sideways after a loss.
I didn't say all that. I mean, I kind of said what I said.
Yeah, you did. Mickey feels a whole lot better, as do the rest of us, after a Tigers win. Here's Jackson now facing the right-hander Medina. 5-9-0 for Detroit, 4-9-0 for Seattle. Jackson is 0 for 4. And it's down the middle of strike. 0-1 on Austin Jackson.
Here's where you have to fight as a leadoff hitter. You don't want to go 0 for 5. You'll take that one hit, which will put you in at 1 for 5 on the day, or you'll take that walk. But 0 for 5s are tough to absorb.
Back him out of there. Jackson 7 hits on the homestand, but today strikeout, couple of grounders and a flyout. Here's the 1-1. Popped up first base side. Ackley coming over, has room up against the railing. 2 gone. Gonna bring up Torrey. Pretty good play here by Ackley, who started the game in center field. Now he's playing first base. And he's already made several sliding catches out in center in the series. Hunter had a big double to start things off in the 7th.
Also, big home run earlier in this game. That was the 2nd inning. They put his team on the board. He's had a nice day. Jim Leland gave him last night off. Jim has done a really nice job this year with Torrey Hunter. He's 37 years old, making sure that his body stays fresh.
Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Paxton started this game for Seattle. And then Wilhelmsen, Furbush, and Almadina. Here's the 1-1. Bender that had him buckling out of the box, but it missed inside.
And Tigers with an outside shot of having the best record in the American League. Boston Red Sox have won 92 games. The Oakland Athletics, they have won 89. The Tigers' third best record in the AL. They've won 88 contests.
Grounded foul right by Brookins in the coaching box at third. Two and two on Torrey Hunter. Seattle has 8, 9, and 1 due up when we get to the ninth inning. Right now it's a 1-run spread. And should Hunter get on, that guy would be next. Knock the mask off the catcher, Zunino. Oh, breaking ball got him looking. Torrey is out of there, and the inning is over.
Buckled his knees.
Tigers go 1-2-3, which means we are headed down to the ninth inning, up by a run, and Benoit trying to close it out. Well, Tigers lead it by a score 5-4 as we go to the ninth inning. Last call now for Seattle. Joaquin Benoit will take over now for Detroit.
He's been real good in this closer's role. 21 of 21 and a 1.94 ERA. That's overall this year. Even before he was a closer, Joaquin Benoit has put up really good numbers.
Andy Chavez will pinch hit to start things off here in the ninth inning. Smiley came out to get an out in the eighth, and now Benoit in the ninth. Five runs, 9 hits, Detroit. 4 runs, 9 hits, Seattle. Chavez fouls off the first pitch. 0-1. Chavez, then Trienfeld, and Ackley here in the 9th inning for Seattle. Soft roller towards short. Santiago surrounds it. Quick throw. Got it. 1 out. FansMLB.com at bat is celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball, available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826.
Take one look at that play surrounded by Santiago. It's like a do-or-die play with Andy Chavez running down the line. He's got some decent speed, and Santiago able to get him by just a couple of steps.
Franklin Gutierrez will step in now. He will pinch hit for Trienfeld. 1 for 5 against Benoit.
Hit a big home run last night for the Seattle Mariners and also had 2 other hits. He's got some pop in that bat. You want to make him use right field or center field. Don't give him anything inside that he can pull.
In case he does pull it, Don Kelly is guarding the line down at third, which has opened up a bit of the left side of the infield.
Andy Dirks in left field also playing no doubles depth. Anything that gets hit over his head, it will most definitely leave the building.
Big rip there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Here's that homer that Franklin Gutierrez hit in last night's game. It came off Luke Piccone. Fastball, pulled his hands in nicely and hit it over the Seattle Mariners bullpen. Game had really already been decided before he hit that big fly.
Good pitch.
Joaquin Benoit is not afraid to throw his changeup to right-handed batters. He calls it a Vulcan change, and he locates it beautifully outside.
One and 2 on Franklin Gutierrez. Ackley waiting on deck. It was his 3-run homer back in the 5th that gave Seattle a 4-3 lead before the Tigers came back with 2 in the 7th inning. RBI hits by Fielder and Martinez. Here's the 2-2. Broken bat, little pop up towards short, but the third baseman Kelly steps back and makes the play, and there are 2 gone. One more out to get now for Benoit. Dustin Ackley steps in. Crowd coming to its feet. 38,000 strong here at the ballpark today. They had a gorgeous day to watch a game. 0-1 on Ackley.
Joaquin Benoit, first 2 pitches to Dustin Ackley, 95-mile-per-hour fastball spotted on the black, but Ackley not convinced they're strikes.
Here's the 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Benoit ready with the 1-2. Here it is. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and the Tigers win today 5-4. They take 3 of 4 in the series. And how about the magic number? It's down to 4 for the Tigers.
Looks like the Tigers are going to be popping bottles here this weekend at Comerica Park when the White Sox come to town with that magic number sitting at 4.
Pfister gets his 13th win as Benoit saves it, his 22nd of the year. And the Tigers win today 5-4. Stick around.